Yay.
You can release your video order here. Oh, okay. New Zoom stuff.
New Zoom stuff. Okay, I see we are now. What is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Y'all Not Ready for That Conversation. I am Lawrence White, and I am with my friends.
What's up? It's your boy Chris Theodat. You already know.
And I'm Ariel Chanel, also known as Ariel Swavy.
I was about to say, did you freeze?
No, I'm here.
All right, we are the Link Media. Uh, yeah, another episode, another week has gone by. This is what, December 1st,
Yes.
first day of the last month of the year. And I know that a lot of people have been waiting, or they are waiting for this year to be over, as if life is just gonna be like, all right,
Imagine.
I'll chill now.
Let's be better.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, is it really the end if we never get out of COVID, or is it just gonna continue to be?
That's true. That's what was that
So,
meme? Yeah, someone was like, "Yeah, I ain't heard no one say 2021 was their year. Y'all scared, ain't you?"
yeah, every year,
Hey,
every year it's the same
this my year.
thing. Like, oh man, it's gonna be my year. I
It's gonna be
feel
my
it,
year. Man.
and I'm
Can't
not even fronting. Like, I've said that myself a
Mhm.
couple of times. Matter of fact, I was thinking about earlier today how, for some reason, my entire life I have been waiting, or I had been waiting to turn 30 years old. When I was like, preteen, teenager, all the time, I was like, I don't know what 30 has in store for me, but when I turn 30, something's crazy gonna happen. Like, my life's gonna be crazy. I had no idea I would be depressed for a whole decade.
Jeez.
My life changed. My life changed all right.
Oh man.
Sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
was like,
that 1-2 punch, man.
right.
I stay giving that 1-2 punch. I am not gonna lie. I was one of the people who was like, yes, 2020. I can't wait because I'm not gonna lie. Like for me, unfortunately, like 2020 is just a rollover of 2019. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it's just that, like, oh, what you thought. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. And that's 2020.
Yeah. Now 2020 hit us with the Jake Paul.
Oh no, not the racist haymaker.
I mean,
Oh man.
yeah.
All right. So before we go too deep into that, um, yeah. So I was thinking earlier today, just trying to figure out what we was going to talk about today, and that's when it kind of hit me, like a lot has happened this year.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this year has been crazy, for everybody on the planet. It seems like, um, you know what I'm saying? It's year's about to be over. Let's just talk about, what's been going on, right? Um, usually, usually like around September, I'll reflect on the year,
Mhm.
you know, um, like kind of reevaluate some things and start to determine where I want to go, um, the following year or just in the future in general. And that's when I realized that I hadn't done that this year. Like, I don't know if it's because every day seems exactly the same for me, or or what, but it's like I just didn't do that at all this year. So I figured, why don't we do that together as a crew, kind of reflect on some things, and see where we want to go in the future. So beginning of the year, January 2020. I had to go back, and this is just going to be a reminder of some stuff that happened.
I feel like I need to sip something stronger than water for this.
We might have to.
I'm about to sip this peroxide next to me.
You know what? Randomly, I have peroxide next to me as well. Because I was gonna say I don't have anything stronger than water. I do got some hand sanitizer and a nice portable.
All I got is this electronics duster. So I mean,
also we gonna turn up. We gonna turn up for real.
Oh.
Huffing computer air.
So January 2020. This actually started in December of 2019. Wildfires.
Oh yeah, wildfires.
I completely forgot that. Like,
is it still burning?
Yo, look how much look how much has happened where you can forget half the world burning.
I'm saying, like, half the world was on fire.
Because the whole world caught on fire afterwards. It was like,
Oh, God.
The whole world was like, you know what? I like what you're doing. Let me turn up too.
Yeah.
let me.
You just light a match.
Yeah, it was stop the wildfires. There are wildfires everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, Australia was burning.
Brazil.
No, the Amazon was burning for a while. I couldn't remember if that was this year or last year, but either way, the one place on the planet that provides like 90% of the world's oxygen was on fire.
Right.
And nobody talked about it because our president was also being impeached
At the same time.
at the same dang time. Yo, when the election was going on, I saw someone mentioning that because apparently Trump was saying that he'll run again in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me not say he was saying. I don't know for sure if that's what he was saying, but I heard people saying
that he should run.
Yeah, and I was like, that's wild.
At the ripe old age of 78.
Dog. And this dude talked about how old everybody else was. But yeah, so while people were talking about that, I saw a comment where somebody said, like, how wild it is that we have a president that's been impeached and he's planning on running again.
Right.
And then I was like, wait, did that happen? Like, was that a real thing? I completely forgot about it.
Yep. Yeah.
This dude. So apparently, and this was something that I learned this year. He was impeached by the House and then acquitted by the Senate.
Right.
I thought impeachment, you're fired.
You're fired, get out. Yeah, nah.
But apparently,
well, it's like, so he was impeached.
It's like having a written warning.
Yeah, like he was impeached, but it's the Senate's decision on like, will the terms be carried out?
Right. It's legit like having like a final written warning and going before like all your managers.
You go before the review board and they're like, meh.
Who also like hired you, so they're like, my guy.
Yeah.
Like they're all best friends.
Right.
Yeah.
They went out to lunch after.
Yeah. But your manager is still like, but you're still a bad person.
Right.
And you just roll off with your check.
Hey, what's up, Phoebes?
Yeah, what's going on, Phoebe? Phoebe said, "Are y'all really gonna cover the whole year in one episode?" Also hi. We're gonna try.
Listen, we're 10 minutes in. It's still in January.
We're in December. We haven't even made it to 2020 yet.
Well, the wildfire started in in December, carried on. The impeachment was technically February. So we're still
we still gotta go back to January. A lot of stuff
Mhm.
happened.
We're first quarter. We're dancing around the first quarter. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, like that was wild to me all by itself. Um, also, and this is with a more respectful and somber tone. Um, excuse me. In January, we lost Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna,
Yeah.
and then also I think it was like seven. It was either 7 or 9 other people that
Yep.
were on that helicopter. Excuse me, with them, and I don't know if it was the smoke from the wildfires that kind of made it difficult.
No, it was a foggy day. So what it
Okay.
was, yeah, the fog was like really bad that day.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a trip that they've taken a ton of times from wherever the helipad is to like Kobe's basketball camp. Um,
Yeah.
but I think what happened was they were advised not to take the trip, and I think Kobe or somebody pushed and tried to like get in there real quick, and it did not work out. It was too much fog, and they were going too fast, and yeah,
Moral of the story: when it comes to flying things, and someone says, might not want to do that. You might want to do
yeah.
it. Because that's the same thing that happened with Aaliyah back in the day. Like when the story came out, it was like,
They should
they
have
were
been flying
advised
in that.
not to.
Yeah,
There's stuff going on. They said you might not want to do that.
like a
They
storm or
pushed
something.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
and it's yeah, that sucked too because because I remember it specifically. It was a Sunday.
Hmm.
Uh, like coming home from church back when we could go to church.
Yeah.
And getting that news like yo, like right after coming home, like oh snap,
yeah.
Kobe died.
And the thing is, it was like such a high service that day too.
Oh
I'll
my
never
god, yeah,
forget because um I went out for lunch with my sister um right after,
yeah.
because January, it's our birthday month, and we were like, let's go celebrate. Service was great. We haven't celebrated our birthdays together. Let's do that. And then it was
Yeah.
like everybody, like you could see the collective like shock
Oh my
as
god.
phones were like going off.
Going nuts.
Yeah,
Oh
where
my
we were.
like so yeah, that was the beginning of what
Yeah.
was to be 2020.
Yeah. No, I was still at church. We were still in service. Um, and I was actually, I believe the youth department was in the kitchen. Um, so I was downstairs talking to my mother, Michaela, and Mike. And I think Michaela had checked her phone first, and that's when we all found out. Um, and it was crazy, like just another one of those moments where, excuse me, we saw like just how big of an impact he had. Excuse me, it even still has
Yeah.
on so many different people, like both on and off the court. Like I still remember um, when he was drafted.
Mm.
No, yeah.
Um, I was in the 7th grade. Excuse me, first time in the 7th grade, and because I have to make that distinction. And I was in my science class when we had or when I had found out. I don't know if it was like the night before, but that's when I had found out. And so I remember hearing about how um, how crazy it was. Like at the time, I didn't know that there were other players, NBA players that had gone straight from high school.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I learn more about that later on. But just hearing or knowing about his impact back then, seeing his career, seeing how hard he worked, seeing the inspiration that he was throughout his career, and then even afterwards, even after having that scandal, um, and being able to shake that off and still push forward. Um, like he was an inspiration to a lot of people, and it was crazy to see the outpouring of love. It seems like the whole world didn't even give themselves a chance to process what happened. They just immediately went into showing love and honoring,
Yeah.
and just kind of letting his wife know, and his other children know that he is still loved.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah, so that was crazy. Um, yeah, so because of that, I kind of want to skip and just say that we lost a lot of people this year. Um, excuse me, some to COVID, some to it seems like a lot of people to cancer.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, just it just seems like every time we turn around, is hearing about somebody else. Um, so yeah, we want to say rest in peace to everyone that has been taken from us this year for whatever reason. Prayers and love goes out to their families. I mean, I can't even like when you wanna bring up their names to kind of show love, but then it's like, where do we even start?
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
You know what I'm saying? I've actually been thinking, not thinking a lot about him, but he popped up in my head a few days ago, and he's kind of been lingering there. That was Fred the Godson.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna front and act like I was a huge fan. I didn't know his work that well. I just knew that he was a spitter. Like, he had bars. He was dope. I didn't really know too much else about him. Excuse me, but just thinking about such a talent that was taken from us. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, don't want to linger too much on the sad stuff. Just respect to everyone, all their families, love to all their families, um, and we're still in January.
We're still in January.
We're still in January. So Ariel, what? So you said there's a lot of other things that happened in January. What?
Yes.
What else?
So
Remind us, because I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting stuff.
for people like me who like to um dream that they can marry a rich young ruler, we have Meghan Markle, the dear Duchess, and Prince Harry deciding that they don't want to be royalty anymore. Like,
Oh yeah.
we're cool. We'll just be regular people. Like, that's how 2020 started. It was the top of 2020 because it was the day before my birthday that they were like, we're fine. We'll just get regular jobs like good old chaps. Like,
We'll move to Canada.
we'll move to Canada.
That's right, they did.
Yeah.
Canada?
Yeah.
I guess Canada was like, it's like, your family's in England, my family's in America. It's like, let's meet in the middle.
Right. That's not even the middle, fam.
Well, technically,
It's
because
mid
they're
adjacent.
like they step down as like big royals, but they're
Yeah.
still royals. So the compromise was, we'll just move to Canada since you guys own them too. Like, we'll just go there.
Wait. Canada is a I was gonna say a colony.
I think it was a French colony though.
Well, yeah, I knew they were a French colony, but
Oh.
are they under the Queen?
So, I don't really know how Canada's government work. I don't think so. Like, there's, I think they are still kind of connected somehow, but not really. Like, I think everyone's connected to the Queen except us. But that's that.
God save the Queen.
Well, I mean, well, no mind, they died.
Phoebe said they went there for healthcare now that the Queen booted them from the family.
Back though.
Yeah, I saw that and I just had to die for a split second.
I thought that had to be brought up because the Queen was super petty and they were like, all right, we off.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, really?
But yeah, that's a hard life to live. Like we think the Kardashians have it like bad with like paparazzi and stuff. They go nuts over there.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys remember how Meghan was like kind of falling apart in front of our eyes?
Yeah, especially like I think what was it when the reporter asked her like, actually, are you okay? And
Yeah,
she, had to like restrain herself, like hold herself.
mm-hmm.
Like, fam.
Yeah, but like, and again, I've studied royalty a lot, not because I'm trying to go be somebody's. I'm not trying to be like one of these Hallmark Christmas movies and be,
You about to be Downton Abbey?
Yeah, it's like the Prince and the Pauper. I'm not trying to. It's not what I'm trying to do. But I studied it because it's the best way to try to understand, like, the kingdom of God. Like, let me actually look like, what do kingdoms look like?
Right.
So trying to study how royalty works, and it, in America, we're spoiled. I mean, we'll get to our elections later on, but like the respect and like the laws and all that, like we don't deal with that. If we don't care for our president, we're like,
right. Like, we can tweet him slander.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we could tweet him and be like, shut up, old man. Like,
right.
You can't shut up old lady the Queen because it's off with your head. Like, there's so many levels, and like, when the Queen is in the room, and when her motorcade is coming down the street, like, there's so many protocols that you have to know of what to do with that. And so to be a part of that and to have to go from, I'm a movie star in America to now I have to know all this protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, woo!
No, that's a lot. Let me start. Oh, yeah, Phoebe says, well, I read an article that compared headlines and phrases between stories about Meghan and stories about Kate, and it's crazy how terrible. Yeah, she was treated horribly.
And they both weren't like, it's not like Kate was royalty.
Right.
They both weren't royalty. Like, there was just one slight difference that, we won't address today.
Because she's black. Listen. we not gonna do that.
We know what it is,
But all right, like, being honest though, like, I didn't even know she was black till somebody said it. Like,
I mean, you could tell she was mixed.
Maybe.
I think I could tell Kamala who was black more than I could.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo. Like, but then, like, you read all the stuff they're calling her, and I'm like, fam, like, what is your argument here? Like, is it because of the title black? Because, like, it's not in the look. It's not in the, you know what I mean? It's like in nothing else, but in the fact that she has, it was a black dad.
No, her mom.
Her mom's black. All right, and I'm just like, and her mom's like super light skin. Or is her mom darker skin?
No, her mom was not dark, but not. She wasn't dark, but her mom was. She was.
Her mom's black.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was super like, I got dreads, fam.
Okay, because like until they told me, I would have never known. I'm like,
But
oh,
it's also about, like how she was presented before. Like as an actress, she played into that like ambiguous
yeah,
tone. So it
She
wasn't
could
like
pass the paper bag test.
yeah, it wasn't like she was at
twice.
Lives Matter movements, early on. Like she
So,
was just doing her thing. She was just an actress.
and this is not in like an indictment on her like blackness. Like it's not like they
No,
should,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
like
It just shows how, regardless if you are the lightest of light or the darkest of dark, if
right.
you're black,
And
like
black, you're black, and he gonna be treated as such.
yep.
Especially with them Brits, they do not care.
My mother said her mother is around Ariel's complexion.
I was gonna say that, Auntie Barbara, but I was like,
That's interesting.
I'm not gonna put myself out there.
Yeah, I've
But
never
I
seen
really
it, so
was like, she's
that's
like my
interesting.
complexion. But I was like, yeah. So yeah, she is.
Okay.
And that's why I was like, her mom's not dark, dark. You see, I got better, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you have.
like her mom's not crunchy black, but like
Exactly. But she's not light either. Like, she.
Whenever I hear crunchy black, I immediately think of 3 6 Mafia.
right.
And in my head, I'm doing crunchy black stance.
But like, yeah, it's so weird. Like that is interesting though. Like, because she like I would not know that was her mother. They were like walking together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But them British tabloids was tearing her up.
But I will say, I think it's honorable that he was like, you're not gonna disrespect my wife. This is my wife. And
Yeah.
guess what? He he watched Coming to America. And he was like,
Yeah.
I renounce my throne.
But,
So he was like, no.
but
like,
sir, what about the royal?
yeah, nope. I give it all up for her. Like, and I think that's dope because it showed, at least from what I see on the tabloids, like it showed me that he really was in it, for better
her.
or worse. Like not just because of an image or whatever. Like, no, but he always was the different one anyways. He went to the beat of his own drum. So I wasn't surprised when he was like, we can leave all this and I'm not even phased by it. Goodbye. Like,
So now my question is, why are tabloids even a thing?
Because, I mean, that's what people are into. Like, that's where the money goes. It's low hanging fruit.
Jeez.
I mean, even with some of the recent happenings in entertainment, I'll just say it that way. Like even on the Christian side of things, like it gets views.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get eyeballs and you can sell advertisement.
That's crazy.
Why didn't you reach? You know what I'm saying? That's why what was that tabloid that had all the crazy stories?
The Inquirer.
Empire.
Yeah.
You see how we both said it at the same time?
I was in my head. I was like, National Inquisitor. I don't think that's it. I've been on some Star Wars, so my blurs know what I'm talking about when I say Inquisitor and Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for years, like even when print media, like, was really failing, like it had already been failing for a long time, but like early 2000s, like maybe like around 2010, when like actual newspapers were struggling,
Mm-hmm.
National Enquirer was still printing them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, funny story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I might have been in like 7th or 8th grade. I saw this National Enquirer headline and it had like Diddy and Lil Kim on it. I was like, oh snap. Yeah. So I'm reading it and I'm like, what? Little Kim's having Diddy's baby, and I bring it to school and I'm showing everybody. I'm like, yo, this is off the magazine. They saying, and everybody looked at me like, you idiot, like you don't know what this is. And I'm over here like, what? It's in the paper. Little Kim's having Diddy's baby. Yo, I was clowned all day.
Yo, I hate when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Because what makes stuff like that even worse now is it's so much easier to catch people,
Right.
because of the way like algorithms are set up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you put out like just on YouTube, right? If you put out a video with clickbait, just because so many people are watching it, because they gotta watch it to know if what your clickbait is actually talking about.
Yep.
So if you're smart with what you're doing, you're gonna bury the real stuff at the end. You know what I'm saying? So the algorithm's like, oh, this video's popping. We got to make sure everybody sees it. You know what I'm saying? Now, because of other things I've been interested in, this fake video comes to me, and I'm like, oh snap, that's crazy. Like I wasn't even looking. I didn't go to the newspaper aisle, or at the what's it called, impulse items at the register. Like this came to me now,
Mm-hmm.
and I click on it. Now I'm caught up in some foolishness. Man, there's a YouTuber now. Every time I see a video from that dude, in my head, I'm like, it's on site for this dude. And this is something that happened like 4 years ago. But to this day, I'm like, it's on site, because he had some news about Doctor Strange before they even started shooting it. And I watched this video and I was like, oh snap, this is crazy. And I brought it to my people, and they were like, fam, what are you talking about? And I was like, nah, but dude just said it. Same thing that happened to you, Chris.
Yep.
I'm like, nah, yo, my man's just put me on. He was like,
but this gotta be real. Like y'all ain't up on this.
Yeah, he was like, fam, they haven't even started shooting that movie yet. And I did a little research, and I was like, oh man.
That's it.
I was like, oh, he had me looking stupid. Now it's on site for him.
Dude.
He better not ever let me catch him in the street.
Aww.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Lawrence was what, that scene with Mekhi Phifer in the car crying?
Yeah. Yeah. Sitting at my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it's like there's gonna be some murder stuff, but once I thought about some of his lines in that movie, I was like, nah, I don't want to go that far. Let me see. Phoebe said off top. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, my mother said because people are nosy and can't live without getting into other people's business. Facts. Phoebe also said off topic, and you don't need to read, but as I'm reading it,
I read it while you were talking, and I think you should read it because
okay. I just noticed it.
That's why I was gonna let you keep going. I was like, no, it's actually.
I went down a deep rabbit hole about the whole Queen Canada politics, monarchy, independence thing, and it's fascinating. I won't spam you, but here is the best summary. Though Canada now has full political
independence
from the UK, the British monarchy is still a part of the Canadian political system to this day.
Really?
In an unusual state of affairs that is sometimes described as a shared monarchy between Canada and Britain. Under the terms of the Canadian Constitution, the King or Queen of the United Kingdom will always be recognized as the King or Queen of Canada as well.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's a no. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And then Phoebe also goes on to say, I love how MIB used tabloids in their storylines. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that from the first movie. I really like that as well. I like when people or when storytellers do stuff like that in real life. I mean, take things from real life and put it into this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate tabloids. I hate clickbait. I hate that dude that made me watch that video. Had me putting out bad information because I put it out in the streets. I was excited.
Hilarious.
So I hate that dude. Um, so another thing that happened this year, and I completely forgot about it, but I think it's important because we are friends with this person. Seaburn
Oh yeah.
was on the circle.
That was this year, wasn't it?
That was this year. I completely forgot.
That was New Year's.
Yep, that was New Year's night.
God, that's so crazy.
Yeah, we left from church. Some of our friends went to another friend's house, and just to hang out and have a little chill session after New Year's revival. They watched the first episode. I didn't go. I went home because I like to go home. But shout out to Seaburn. That was it was funny, and it was dope to see him on the screen. I think he came in 4th place,
Something like that.
out of the whole thing.
It was wild too, because I'm watching it and I'm like, yo, this dude's from Boston. That's what he says. But why is this Jalen? Like I was like, who is this? And then like I go online, I see all y'all reaction, and I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, like that was crazy because I remember him telling me that he was going to be working with Netflix and he was going to be he told me he was going to be staying at a hotel while they put something together. And I was like, oh man, that's dope. And then I realized he told me about the show. Like he just stayed in a room by himself for however long they shot.
yeah, I would love to be like that. That looked fun.
It did look fun. My only thing is I would hate to be on the camera for that long.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you might do something crazy. The camera's around for so long, you forget that it's there. You know what I mean? I might do something wild. Like
yeah,
I don't know. The blooper reel would be crazy. Crazy for me.
Why are you taking a deuce with the door open? What's going on?
Yeah. And singing about it.
All right. Taking a do.
Did it look like that Elmo doll? Just
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Doing the risky business, Tom Cruise dancing, but just in my drawers.
Right. Yeah.
I think the craziest thing about like Seaburn being on the circle was because he is our friend. Like when other friends started realizing, like, so like the day I did my my virtual concert, he watched it because he's legit our friend. And all of my friends at work afterwards were like, so awesome concert. It was great, but Seaburn? I was like, yeah. Like legit. He like stopped the show. Like people like, Seaburn from the circle is here. And I was like, yo, that's so crazy. Like, because this is Seaburn, who I grew up with like all my life. This is my home slice. Yeah. Like, what is this? So that transition of like your friend going from like, okay, it's my homie, and now they're like superstar. It's like, whoa. I don't think I was ready for that. Like, what happened? So that's a crazy transition.
It is interesting how many people watch that show.
Yeah, he's blue check certified on Facebook.
Is he?
Yeah. My boy's official. Like
yeah.
Did y'all watch the other season in Brazil?
Nope.
I started to, but because it was in Portuguese.
Yeah. It was,
I was like, or maybe it was the French one. Maybe that's the one I started. But that I think goes to show. One. Yeah, I think that goes to show just how successful the circle was. because like almost immediately they were like, "Oh, we got these other, we got these other versions. Throw them out there." And it's like, fam, we can't understand what these people are talking about.
Yo, no, but low key though, like Netflix pulls a lot of like Brazilian content. Like,
Yeah.
yo, that show 3% is my joint.
I heard it was mad good.
Yo, it's nuts. So
I
like,
watched many of movies that I don't know what they actually said.
I just be turning them subtitles on and just like, all right, I guess I'm reading the bottom this whole.
Yeah, they be good.
I don't know what happened, but I read it.
Yeah, that's why I can't. I'm not gonna say I can't stand, but I don't enjoy having to read subtitles.
Oh, I hate them, but some shows are worth it.
Yeah.
I like loathe subtitles.
You know what's worse than subtitles?
What?
But I'll still watch them only because I don't have to read. A bad overdub.
Oh yeah, like them BET overdubs.
When they cuss.
Like, what the Franklin are you doing?
Yeah, yo, a bad overdub is like
you
like,
mother's uncle.
Yeah, I'm like, fam, I could see the lips moving in a different direction.
Yeah, but it was the same with all those like old school like kung fu films. Those were horrible overdubs.
Yeah,
but we enjoyed those.
But there was fighting.
I will rip your brains out of your head.
So have we hit February yet?
I don't think so.
Right, with 45 minutes left.
Well, I was just gonna say, was there anything else that happened in
So we talked about the impeachment briefly.
I believe we almost went to war.
We always are almost going to war.
Always going to war.
No, but this is different. This was when this is when people were talking about being drafted. Like it became almost a real thing.
It's always almost a real thing.
I know, but this was different.
Wait, who did we almost go to war with?
Iran.
Everyone.
Again?
That's what I'm saying. We're always almost going to war. Yes, Anthony.
It's because they killed.
You can't get out.
They killed like the Iranian leader. I think he was.
You are right.
And everybody was talking about going to war.
General, and they was talking big talk. I'm like, Iran, y'all are the size of like Delaware. What do you like? They was talking big talk.
They couldn't get no backup.
They were about to come out like, do we have a problem?
Yeah.
Just he's gonna pull them bangs out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that does ring a bell now.
Uh-huh.
But that was January.
Yeah. It's January.
Yeah, that was January.
Yeah, Mike said I love kung fu movies. Yo, them overdubs though.
Mike put me onto a lot of kung fu.
Hey man, them joints.
Matter of fact,
still my favorite movie. Like
which
I
one?
love it. Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh yeah.
I would sit and watch that anytime.
Yo, there's a dude in downtown that still sells like old like kung fu movies.
Is that store still there?
I think it is. I mean, I don't know what he's been doing since COVID, but he's been good to me.
He said this podcast might be as long as 2020.
Yeah. Listen, we ain't doing no 10-year podcast.
No.
That's how long 2020 been.
Listen.
So February.
Well, February is like I said when the impeachment happened, but we already talked about that.
Parasite, that movie everyone talked about that I never saw.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it either.
All right, moving on then.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that won everything.
Yeah.
That came in and was like, everyone's like, what?
And nobody saw it. You're like, what is this?
Because it's a parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shut up.
Oh.
I hate that. I hate that so much. Um, February is when COVID like officially was a thing
Right.
in the United States.
See, people were talking about. So here's
well,
so
it
here's
was
the,
officially talked about for serious.
Yeah, yeah. The first person that had it died.
because like
No,
people.
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Not the first person that had it. The first death happened because of it in February.
Yeah. So it was interesting, right? Because I believe so. Recently having a baby, I had just whatchamacallit, got back to work after my paternity leave, and I'm talking to everyone about it. I'm like, yeah, y'all heard this COVID thing, this coronavirus thing? Everyone's like, yeah, briefly, I heard a little something about it, and like that was the extent of the conversation. There was a couple of jokes. It was, haha, black people don't get this, ha ha ha.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely said that and joked about it.
Y'all good? Black people don't get it.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wait, only white people getting this? Big convention.
Yeah. That thing came through and it hit for real.
That thing did one of these.
Yeah. And that thing came through for real, and I was like, "Oh man, I should have just kept my mouth shut."
Yeah.
I am sorry.
But even like before all that hit, they got, what's his name, Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. That's why I was like, we not skimming over that.
I wasn't sure if that was like important enough to mention.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
And Lionsgate ain't been the same since.
It was between that. Wait, what? Oh no.
No, Lionsgate.
Oh.
They had some alright movies.
That, because the Harvey Weinstein stuff, it was like at the top of, it was like that, and then they were like, so COVID? Yeah, let's talk about COVID now. Like, that's legit how they ended up starting talking about COVID.
Yep.
Because a lot of the also the Epstein Island stuff started coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was all February. Like,
yep.
And they're like, so, but COVID? And they were like, no. Like, we need to talk about this. This is serious. And they're like, no, COVID.
Like,
COVID.
this is here, and more people are getting it and dying.
And more people are getting it. So COVID? Yeah, COVID. So and that was February. It was like, no. But there's this thing called COVID. And we're like, yeah, we knew about that in like November, right?
But it was a hoax. Yeah.
But it's funny because now I just saw an article that came out like yesterday, and they're like, so COVID actually was around longer than we said. No, we know that. Like,
we knew. So people who knew were talking about it in like December.
Yeah. But they were like,
yeah, actually, now that you mention it that way, I just remembered all those CEOs were stepping down from their positions.
Yeah.
And I remembered saying, what is going on? Excuse me. I was like, what is happening that we don't know about that has all of these dudes stepping away from these like powerful positions?
I don't know what rabbit hole I went down, but I might have been on Twitter, and all of a sudden I hear all I saw in a couple of days was coronavirus, this weird virus. People are in, and it was all China focused, and I'm like, what is going on over there? And then you see the conspiracy theories. Then you see because I think one of the biggest ones was how like the company that they said produced COVID was the same company in Resident Evil that made the zombies and all. Like, it was all
the Umbrella Corp.
Yo,
it was like their logo.
The logo was exactly the same,
yeah.
and it was out of Wuhan, China, like in the video game.
For real.
Oh my god, yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, and it was in that book.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about it in that book.
Yeah.
I forgot the author's name. I don't.
Yeah, but it was all of this. So it was just a whole lot going on. So people were like talking about it, speculating. So, and they didn't know what was gonna happen.
Um, then it was that, and then the other one was now I think February and March kind of blend into each other though, because
Mhm.
it,
Yeah.
you know that's when everything really popped. Um, and that was like the conspiracies about like because Tom Hanks was like the first big name to come
To
out and
get
say
it.
he had
Yep.
COVID, and everyone was like, it's because he's supposed to be indicted. And it was like this long list of people that were saying they got it, and people were
Right.
saying because they're all supposed to be indicted. And then he switched his citizenship. And it was like,
Oh, for real?
bye.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I just caught what you were saying.
Mm.
Tom Hanks was going to be indicted.
That was one of the conspiracy theories that they were saying
Yeah.
he was one of the ones on that. It was that whole Epstein Isle, like
Yeah.
long
They
list.
put him, and they basically like every star that got it was supposed to have been involved
Supposed to
in the
have
Epstein's, and we know
Yeah.
most of that was crap, but like it was one of those things.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
So
All right.
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's like between that or like that Microsoft, like the reason why Bill Gates stepped down from Microsoft, which was like the biggest one for me. I was like, Bill who? Bill
Mhm.
what? Doing what?
yeah.
In 2020? But they were like, it's because he was a part of the people. What they were saying first was he was a part of the people that were manufacturing the new drug and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Anthony's a jerk.
He's fool, yo.
um. So just to kind of skip around a little bit, because if we try to go month by month, it is going to take us forever.
But my
Even
thing,
though
no,
like, what can you really skip though? Like,
the year went from January, February, March, April, May, like all of that.
nah, because like
Like,
March had some things in it though. Like, uh, so the market crash was in March.
oh, so this is what I was gonna say about March.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Ariel talked about this a while back because I had forgotten about this, and we were talking about something else, and then I was like, oh, let me just check real quick. So I had bought stock in Uber because they went public. I think like the second week of March,
uh,
early March. I only bought one share.
right.
I only bought one share. 3 days later, quarantine is announced. Uber stock plummeted.
Tank like a mug.
Yo, I looked at the chart. That joke went straight down. And I was like, I think it went down to like $14.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, it's a good thing I completely forgot about it. Because I think by the time we were talking about it, people were already like back outside. It was the summertime. People were doing stuff. So it was like slowly climbing back up. Thankfully, it recovered and then some by now. Like it was only a share. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking no serious money. But
Hey, but like,
so I don't like gambling. So losing anything is like, it's like, dog, I shouldn't have done this in the first place.
hey, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think timing wise, a lot of it isn't a gamble if you're paying attention timing wise. I think like,
I don't know when to hold them and when to fold them.
oh man, but yo, because it's funny because like I'm actively buying stocks now. It's just like one of my things, and like every time like I go buy stock, I'm like, man, what does it look like? Because every single solitary stock, every single one without exception, has this ginormous dip in March, and you're like, man, I should have bought it then.
Yeah.
Like, there were things that I'm like, yo, like the dip was insane how much like it dropped. And they were like, was it the single largest crash since the recession? Since like
Yeah,
all
it was crazy.
I think, in talking about how Lawrence said he wanted to jump around a little bit, I think how much or not how much, but how many times the stock market has crashed in this year alone It's crazy to me. Like, mainly, especially since it's like every time the president would say something, it would be like, and the Dow Jones is down again. Like,
Tank.
guys, this should not be a thing.
Trump would get on Twitter first thing in the morning. Grand Rising, kings and queens. Pew.
So bad, like, oh golly. It's like, wait, and they're like, and the Dow Jones down again, and this is down again. I'm like, oh Lord.
All right, so this is where I wanted to kind of switch things up, because really a lot, like some things happened, but a lot didn't happen because of the quarantine, because of COVID, all that stuff.
If you
So,
look
like-
at Wikipedia, by the way,
Mhm.
March to the end of the year, it literally, like, their timeline of the year, it's always like just COVID.
COVID, yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, like when I was looking up some stuff to talk about for this episode, it was like the same thing. Like on the different sites that I would go to, like, all right, January, all this stuff happened. You know, a lot of political stuff. So I was like, we don't need to talk about all that. February, same thing. March, a couple of things, and then COVID. And then every month I saw after that was just COVID is still a thing.
Hey,
COVID is still a thing.
hey, did y'all get to Murder Hornets yet?
No.
Murder
I'm
Hornets
actually-
was
I'm
February, but they weren't really a thing.
Hey, listen.
I think they just killed like one of the nests like a month ago or so in Washington State.
Yeah, but like they ain't murder nobody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? They just talk. They just talk tough.
Yeah, all right. You stepped to one.
No, no, I won't. I don't even think they I don't think they could survive. up here.
No.
Especially now they couldn't. But
I mean, they can.
no, it was something that I saw like early on. It was like they would have been a threat for us in the summertime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like-
yeah, because any hornet or wasp would be a threat to us in the summer because they can't thrive in the winter
Yeah. So it was like once they didn't make it over here,
unless they live by my house. Because somehow, well, my parents' house, I don't know what's wrong with them hornets over there. I think they're murder hornets. We just don't know it.
oh, the Phoebe just said that nest had
Yeah.
1,200 queens.
Yes. And so what they're saying is they don't know how many of those queens like left and started colonies.
That's some mad queens.
Yeah, buddy.
They're like,
This is what
okay,
I'm saying. I'm like this
all
was
right,
I was gonna say something so wild.
okay, Kay.
I'm done. I'm done with the murder hornets.
This is not queen.
It was Black Twitter for real over there.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
Formation, right? Legit.
All right, so
Yes, queen. Yeah.
so quarantine happened in March.
Oh.
Changed a lot of things. Changed a lot of things. Shut down. For us personally, we were getting ready for Elevation. We were getting ready for the Elevation conference,
Oh man.
and
Mike, turn your phone off now, man.
yeah, and I mean, just using that as an example, like we already don't have a whole lot of events
Yeah.
that we do here, you know, for our market, right? Elevation has become one of the biggest things that we're a part of, like for the whole year, and it was taken from us.
It was snatched from us.
You know what I'm saying? It was taken from us.
Yeah.
And I,
Big this year. It's gonna be huge.
what'd you say?
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
About to be nuts.
Yeah, we were putting together a lot. a lot for it this year, but I don't want to dwell on that because I don't want to cry. However, however,
This is
I, but I remember like
I tried to warn you, Mike.
so I'm bringing it up because for a lot of people, like our lives changed completely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people really had to learn how to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mike said, "I'll take the vacation."
Facts.
You know, so even us, like right now, doing this podcast on Zoom, is a product of that pivot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if people were able to get together in person, we may not have ever like we may have had the conversation, but we may not have recorded it. It just would have been some friends sitting down talking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we've seen things like, you know, concerts being canceled completely to people putting on quarantine concerts.
Yeah.
You know, all three of us were a part of. Well, Ariel was a part of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and Ariel put together hers. You and Ariel helped Di with his.
Yep.
I bought a ring light. That's the whole thing.
It was great.
So, and then also everyone, well, most people, not everyone, but most people had to work from home as well.
Right.
So what were some of the highlights for you guys in this new wave of, you know, doing things? Like what do you think is some things that, whether it's for yourself or someone else, like y'all won in that area?
Oh, easy. No traffic on 93.
Well, yeah, because you had to keep going into work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we said that before. For anyone that hasn't seen, this might be your first episode. Chris is an essential worker, so he's been going in regularly since then. And also for anyone that's watching, I want to hear from you guys as well. What was a highlight for you guys during this quarantine part?
I'm gonna read what Phoebe just said.
Mm-hmm.
She said, or our contracts are cut and we decided to move 1,300 miles because God said so. So I think it is one of the things I was going to say was reconnecting with people, or just connecting, period, with people that we never would connect with.
Right.
So Phoebe is like now one of my like dope accountability partners, and I love it. And we hadn't met before because I wasn't going to KEC when Phoebe was going to KEC at first, and
That's true.
Corona like reconnected us all. And so like we actually got to like meet each other and all these different things. And so even in the midst of craziness, like you still can make a friend in the process. So, you know, shout out to you, Phoebe.
Phoebe, KEC OG.
Yeah, like it's definitely enhanced like our community, like having Phoebe connected again. So I think that's pretty dope. I had something else I was gonna say, but I'm gonna oil slick it to Chris since I know it's there and it'll come back in a second. But I'm gonna let him talk until I remember exactly what I'm gonna say.
But I think a lot of it. I mean, working. So I had a very interesting schedule on COVID. So mind you, right? So through most of the whole COVID stuff, I took 2 paternity leaves essentially. I split it up after I had my baby. So had a kid in November. She just turned 1 on Thanksgiving. Yay us.
Yay.
It's been a year already. Ridiculous. So yeah, I split up my paternity. So now at the end of my paternity, I'm going back into COVID. into a hospital that now looks like TSA check-in because they're making everybody wear a mask and do all this stuff. It's weird. But I now get to drive in every day because they shut everything down, so no one can come to work anyway.
Oh yeah. No MBTA.
Yeah, no, I think they shut that down for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think my job automatically takes out like the MBTA fee or whatever. I got refunded 2 months. I was like, yes, Lord.
Yeah, I think they refunded me all of the months until finally I just canceled it.
Right.
Like, it's no fun if you just keep taking the money and then I gotta wait for you to give it back.
We'll put it back,
like,
yeah.
I know the game now. It was exciting the first 2 times.
But it was great, yo. To go and like get to work in like 20 minutes as opposed to like an hour commute. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. My mother said she gets to work in her PJs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did not.
No. Well, you wear scrubs, so that's like wearing PJs.
Yeah, they're not that comfortable.
Listen, I go in once a week. It's in quotes because I'm supposed to go in once a week. But the thing is, if I don't need to be there, I don't have to go in. And since I technically am not supposed to be in the state, which we're not going to talk about because this is a Facebook video, I go in like every other week. And my day to go in is Fridays, and Fridays was casual Friday. Okay. And since who else is picking Friday to go in, I never have to wear dress clothes again to work, and it's the best thing in the world.
So you go every time your quarantine expires to be safe.
You said what?
I said you go to work every time your quarantine expires to be safe.
That's literally what I do.
Every 14 days.
Every 14 days. I go in. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going in this week. So like last week was, Black Friday, so I work from home. So I'm gonna go in this week. And then I just may or may not go in next week, and then maybe not,
It's quarantine.
Yeah.
My mother said that her job didn't refund her. She's not happy about that. She finally canceled her T-Pass.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that sucks because I don't think she's been on the T since.
Which is weird because
since before quarantine.
Say it was the T refunding it. Like the T was sending the money back.
So her job is just pocketing the money?
Probably.
Well, it depends. If you used it even once,
they're skimming off the top.
She hasn't used it.
But
so
that's the thing, though.
Taking that.
Like this is, remind you, this is Mass General Partners. Oh, now you know. But like
now you know where we both work.
Right.
Yay. Well, it's not partners anymore. So no, you don't.
Yeah, pretty much. But it is kind of the conglomerate, and ain't nobody messing with them in this part. Especially the T. Like the T is like, you know what? Most people that ride our service come from you guys, so we're gonna make you happy.
Mm-hmm. So Ariel, did you remember the
your point?
Yeah, the second thing you wanted to say?
I remember
$90 a month. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't know it had went up that high.
Yeah.
Golly. I haven't had to be on the T on a regular basis in a long time.
And it's funny because of our like hospital discount, we don't pay nearly that much, but I still get an attitude every time they raise it. I'm like, come on, man.
All right, I'm sorry, Ariel. You were saying?
No, I don't remember. I was like, it's gonna be like 3 a.m, and I'm like, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
you had to record a punch in.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go. You say you'll do what?
I said, so if you all see a message from me at a random hour, everybody. Hello, everybody in the Link Media. This is what This is what I was thinking.
This is what I was trying to remember, but I couldn't remember. So I think a high point. I think a high point for myself. Um, I'm only hesitating because I'm wondering, like, do I really want to share this? But I'll go ahead and share it. So I think a high point for myself was being able to um, get to a better place with my mental health.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I love seeing like everybody um, pivot and like make something happen when when opportunities are taken away from you, because like that's in my mind, like that's how you separate like the creators from the copiers.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember being frustrated, and this was like not this year but just in general. Like I would get frustrated every time something I did would be copied by someone else, especially when it would be copied and then they would get more love behind it.
Mm.
But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? There's nothing for me to really get upset about, because they have to wait until myself or somebody else creates something so that they know what to copy. You know what I'm saying? You can take what I made today, copy it, and I can make something new by the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whenever people are put in a position where like their normal like way of operating gets changed, and they're immediately able to create something to make like an even better situation for themselves, like I think that's dope. It's really dope to see happen. So over like the past few months, seeing people develop more ways to reach their fans, um, more ways to make things happen for each other, like has been crazy. Um,
I remembered.
what's up? Well, all right. Well, let me say this. Let me say this first.
No, I was gonna say keep going, but I told you it was gonna come.
So you better write it down.
Yeah, write it down. So just as an example, like I'm not a fan of Travis Scott,
Right.
but seeing what he was able to do with Fortnite
Yep.
was
And
crazy.
McDonald's.
Yeah, I was like in the Travis Scott burger.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that one, it's still dope for his fan base, but that one was cornier to me. But
Hey, that's $20 million corny dollars.
well, yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't matter like how I feel. Like he still got his bag. You know what I'm saying? Like something being corny, it's just that's just what it is to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and it really, I think it was like corny because you had to get the meal exactly how he had it. And I'm like, nobody gets Sprite with extra ice.
You know, you're watching your sugar.
No. You don't go to McDonald's and get a Sprite to watch your sugar.
You go there and get a Big Mac and Diet Coke.
No. So I thought so that's why I thought that was dumb. But seeing, so like being in a place where someone like him would um you know be on tour or doing like festivals and stuff like that, to then be able to do a festival in a video game,
Yeah, that's nuts.
like that's crazy. And it's like you really don't have to do any work because it's just like a virtual
Yeah, it's right there.
yeah, it's a virtual situation. Like it's an avatar of yourself doing random moves that they already have pre-recorded into the game. You know what I'm saying? So you're literally just sitting back getting paid for them using your likeness.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What's up?
Is Fortnite just an updated version of Second Life?
I never played Second Life, but But
I had Second Life for like 2 days, and I was like,
I had it for a minute too, actually.
I remember my brother had it. My older brother had it.
I definitely had Second Life, and I was like, this is rather strange.
Nah, Second Life is like uh, a Call of Duty
No.
Game Boy for free all the time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to take that back. My brother didn't have Second Life. I just remembered what Second Life was. I was thinking of like a first-person shooter, I think it was,
Oh yeah.
called Half-Life. That's what my brother had. Second Life was something else.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So no, Fortnite is it's a battle royale game, but what they did was they made a place in the game where you can't fight. Like
Okay.
you can literally just run around this smaller island, just doing fun stuff with people, like races, and they have like a concert space. Because they've done it with other people, it just wasn't as big. Like with Travis Scott, they had a big, like it was like a giant, like version of himself,
right,
like doing a concert where everyone would just do like the little Fortnite dances and like have the characters. But they kept it going. Like I remember I had signed on because like I had put it on Facebook a while back. Like I had been practicing so that I could play with my nephews.
Oh yeah.
And so every now and then, whenever I got
practicing the dances or the game?
The game.
Both on.
For some reason I just picture you just like, all right.
Right.
Well, I know how to do them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna act like I don't know how to do them, so I don't gotta practice them. But I was practicing playing Fortnite so that I could play with my nephews because I didn't want to be trash. And so I remember going like to this party island, so to speak, and they had a concert. They were streaming a concert with what's dude's name? Anderson .Paak.
Oh.
Yeah. So like seeing stuff like that is dope to me.
So basically they were the successful Fire Festival. They were like, we got this.
I guess you could put it that way.
Y'all did it. Fire.
Yeah. Phoebe said, saying 2 days on Second Life, and I was like, bye, back to my first life.
Second Life, man.
People live their lives on that joint.
Yes.
But there was one before Second Life though.
Second Lives.
Yeah. There was one before Second Life that I had too for a minute, but like it was too time consuming, so I stopped doing it.
I'm not good at video games.
So another thing that came out during this time that I wanted to ask you guys about was the versus battles.
Yeah.
That's another example of, life changing, and you pivot to make something dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's also a response to everyone that told you like art couldn't like be successful and like make you money.
Oh yeah. Listen, like if I'd never learned it before, this has been that year where I was like, I should have just taken my own advice, you know what I'm saying, trusted myself, and just stuck with it, and just, did some like just created. It kept putting stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that have been creating, like, they won or they're winning. You know what I'm saying? People being furloughed from their jobs, people being, and furloughed is just a nice way of saying fired. People were taking that unemployment money and flipping it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they were creating their own businesses. I came across this one young lady. I can't remember what her job was. before. No, I think she was a flight attendant. But it was something like that. She started a business painting doormats.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, like, and it was one of those things that when I saw it, I was like, why didn't I think of this? You know what I'm saying? But she started making her own doormats. And when she got fired from the airline, because the airlines they were requesting all this money so that they could stay open, but then some of them fired people anyway,
Right.
just to keep flying. But when she was fired, she just went like headlong into creating these doormats, and she's legit. She's created a whole life behind this, and she makes other, a few other things as well. I don't have the numbers, but Etsy, you know what I'm saying? Creators on Etsy,
Dude,
like,
Etsy went up. Fiverr stock went crazy.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people, and this is a lot of stuff that people were able to do from home while still being at even at their regular job. If they weren't fired, they're working from home anyway, so I can give myself a little, you know what I mean?
Right.
So Etsy, Fiverr, like it, like
Essentially, like,
this stuff went through the roof for a lot of people.
yeah, I mean, essentially the gig economy, as they call it, boomed.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, even like people delivering food.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Delivering food, delivering groceries. Like it went off. Let me see. Phoebe dropped in a couple more comments. She said, I saw an MTV True Life about people who had crazy huge lives in virtual reality, which is how I learned about Second Life. True Life was an interesting show.
Yeah.
They had some interesting episodes. I never saw that episode, but because y'all brought it up, I'm interested to go back and look at it. And then she also said, my bonus COVID $600 a week money bought me a car in cash. That's a whole testimony. Even though we didn't get much help from the government, I was able to use it to build a better life. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I'm really happy to hear about that. Congratulations.
I have an
Um,
office because of COVID.
yeah.
Like, I, Chris laughed at me the other day. Like, well, Chris and Lawrence. For those who don't know me, I think I've said it in whatever, but I live like a bachelor, not a bachelorette, like a bachelor. I have like a fork and a spoon. And I lost my spoon. So if anyone has spoons, just know. But anyways, but um, because of the shift of having to work at home, because it literally was like pack your stuff and leave. Like you would have thought that it was for real. Was that Chernobyl?
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's how it felt. Like, for me, when they told us to leave, two of the people that I worked with were sick. And like we all had a party the day before it was like released, like don't be in groups together. Like
Oh,
here's some cake, here's this, like let's cut you a piece, like in the room, in the conference room together. And then the next day it was like so and so's out with the flu,
yeah,
this person
right.
out with the flu too, and we were all
Breathing all that COVID air.
yeah, like all of us were like and that was the thing that like made them be like, literally every manager's door was like like you just could hear it. That day I will never forget. They all went in their offices, shut the door at the same time, and each one came out like, so effective immediately, get your stuff, go home. Like, but none of us were prepared for that because like, what do you mean go home? Like I don't have, like, one of my coworkers is like, I don't even got internet. Like it just was like that because there's nothing we could do. So everyone had to like revamp, and I created the office that I now have, like my office slash entertainment room. that I spend 90% of my time in. And like that, so that was the thing that I was saying I was excited about that came back. Like I realized how like the little bits of me that I feel got lost in the 9 to 5 hustle. Like I love creating things. Like I enjoyed putting the office together more than actually doing work in the office, which is neither here nor there. But like enjoyed that, enjoyed creating the virtual concert, like getting all the stuff for it and doing that. And it really was like this kick that I was like, oh snap, like this was missing. So even though the situation was trash, like it still pointed out if you paid attention, some good stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna to tack that on the end of what you were saying because you were able to put together your office. We were able to put on that concert,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that was another one of my high points. Um, being not only seeing you do it, but also being able to help you do it and put it together.
Yeah.
You know,
And it was international. I had
yeah,
somebody in Guam watch it. Do you hear me?
yeah,
And I'm
that's
not
dope.
even, it's not even like one of those trolls. Like I actually talked to this person and they told me how much they enjoyed it. Like,
It wasn't a robot.
no, 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 it wasn't a robot. My friend sent like the link to everyone they knew, and their friend lives in Guam.
And for
I
anyone
over.
watching that's interested in checking out this concert, it is still available on Ariel Chanel's Facebook page and on YouTube. What'd you say, Ariel?
I want to go to the YouTube. I think the Facebook is still muted.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not her Facebook page because they muted all her music, but it's available on YouTube.
I still think
Um,
that's funny. They muted my stuff and not the covers.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. All the songs that are muted are my songs, not the covers.
Phoebe said that virtual concert was dope. My house fam enjoyed it together. That's dope. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can continue to do more things like that, and even seeing Diaz concert, that was dope as well. You guys did a great job putting that together. Um, time is almost up. Well, it's pretty much up, but I was asking this question. You can just give a quick answer because I am curious. What was your favorite versus battle that you've seen?
Oh, Chris, you're on mute.
Oh, hey, how about that? Listen, how many times have we heard that during COVID? Hey, you're
Yep.
on mute.
2020, guys.
My favorite one. Oh, it was like the Jada Fab one was great. Not Jada, it was the Jada. Was it Jada Fab? It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
It's
yeah.
Jada
Jada
Fab.
Fabulous.
Jada Fab was good. Because that whole Jada drunk thing was hilarious. Kirk and Fred was good too. Um, the Beanie Man Bounty Killer was nuts.
Still one of my favorites.
Uh, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's one of those things where like they get better every time.
Mhm.
Like the Gucci and Jeezy was dope, but then like kicking it off with like the Babyface and Teddy Riley,
Mhm.
Oh,
the
I forgot about that
man,
one actually.
the memes that
Yo,
came out of
Yeah.
that,
can't forget about that.
that's ground zero.
Yeah.
Duke in the background,
Wow.
hype man jamming. You know what I'm saying? All the technical difficulties, and he's just
Oh
in the
my god.
back.
Right.
Can't forget about that.
Wait. So which one was your favorite?
I can't pick one, man. Like they were a lot of them are really good. I
All right.
mean, for me, it'll be a toss up. Gucci, Jeezy, Jada Fab.
All right, Ariel. What about you?
So There's so many.
Hmm.
There's so many that they would come on and I would be like, there was another one. I missed
Yeah.
it. Like, man, I missed that one. Um, I have to throw it back to um some of the iconic ones that happened, and a lot of them were like with the ladies out. So we had two of my favorites, Erica and
Jill
Jill.
Scott. Yeah.
And even though it was like, it's verses, so it was kind of like more of a talk fest because
Right.
unfortunately at that time they couldn't play their music as long as they can now because they didn't have
Right.
the permissions that they now have.
A 90-minute rule, man.
Yeah, it was like, so it was a lot of like, Erica, I remember when we used to smoke on the sand. And it was great. Like that just that was most of it. But just like I really appreciated how like their vibe was just so dope. Um and then you had Monica and Brandy because it's if you know the beef, that was iconic. Um Beanie and Bounty will definitely always be one of my
Yo,
favorites.
I look how verses end in beefs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like that would be one of my favorites because I will never forget. Officer,
Right.
do you really want to be that guy?
Do you really
Do you
want to
want
be
to be
that guy? Do you really want to be that guy?
that
Right.
The police are here. They're trying
Right.
to shut us down. Like that joint was mad funny. And you gotta go with the grandmas with Gladys
Patty and Gladys.
because that was hilarious. It was literally like trying to watch Nana trying to work your verses. Like Mr. Teleprompter, I need my words. Like it was such an auntie fest and it was great. The music, I love their music because I'm an old soul, but like, to have Dionne Warwick come out and not know left from right.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
okay, okay, bye now. Like it just
Speaking of Dionne Warwick, she's tweeting more frequently now, and it's hilarious.
Not can't do it.
It's hilarious.
you had them talk about flip phones. Like it was great. But I think Fred or Kirk and Fred, the reason why it is like separate in my mind from the rest of them is because of everything that was going on in the world at that time.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
which we didn't even get to. We didn't even have a chance to get to it.
that's a whole episode in itself. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we talked about the good and the bad. Like the ugly of 2020 is a whole episode in itself. A whole episode because 2020 showed its hind parts. You hear me?
yeah.
All its backside,
The whole thing.
the whole thing,
Whole crack.
all of
It
it.
was a full moon every day.
Yep. So, that's a whole episode in itself. I don't even know if we got time for that. I think I might be with Anthony on that. We'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be
All right. So my favorite Kirk and Fred aside, because I love both of their catalogs. Being able to talk trash with some of our friends about it, having to put them onto Fred's catalog, make sure they put some respect on his name, was always fun. Let me see. Jill and Erica was dope. Snoop and DMX might be up there as one of my favorites. But I think musically,
I forgot about that one.
Snoop and DMX.
That joint was nuts.
Yeah, I think some people wouldn't realize how much I love DMX's music. Like, I can probably still recite his whole first album. I need the music, but I could probably still recite it.
I used to have his album because it was Jamal's, and whatever was Jamal's just became mine. So. But I would borrow my brother's CDs and imagine little Ariel in elementary school when I was talking about I'm tripping, falling. Like that was me just back in the
With a tear in your eye.
Yep.
Junior high, like, oh man, I got to get up.
Got
Right.
to on my way to my little Metco school.
On your 3-hour ride.
I got to get up for school.
I got to get up.
I really enjoyed Babyface and Teddy. Excuse me, because I love their music as well. I think Babyface might be one of my favorite producers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really loved about that one was that I was able to have it playing while I was with my parents, because I think we were playing Scrabble. That's another thing that was kind of dope. Like we started playing more games because there was nowhere else to go. Church was shut down. You know what I'm saying? So we were just playing board games. Like we played a lot of Scrabble. I've dominated my father many times, and it's been recorded. So I like that. But musically, I was gonna say my favorite probably has to be T-Pain and Lil Jon.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was.
I missed that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was one of the early ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Hit Boy and Boy Wonder.
I didn't even see that one. There's a few I didn't watch, but I heard that one was crazy as well. I know Neo did one as well. I can't remember who he did his with. But yeah, Lil Jon, yeah, Lil Jon and T-Pain, musically might be my favorite, because that one I went back to their playlist like that whole week, because I think at that time they were doing like one a week or like one every 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Now it's every time they think about it.
Yeah, because I think at that time, like nobody really knew how long the quarantine was gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people was just moving like, all right, we're doing this right now, but we're gonna get out of it. We gotta, just have it for now, and then we get back to the real stuff. But then as people realize like things were gonna last longer than they planned, they're like, okay, well, we gotta drag these out. Especially since like every time they do one, it seems like it gotta be bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it right there.
Well, you got to mention, if we're going to talk about verses, even how the comedians thrived on it, because you got Spice and
yeah, Spice, Affion Crockett, Tony Baker.
Yeah,
Tony Baker getting roasted by Teddy Riley.
Yo, Tony Baker versus Teddy Riley.
Like, yeah, you have that, but then also you have the people in the comments who think they're funny.
No, of course.
You know what I'm saying? And that kind of spoils the comments for me. I don't even watch it on Instagram anymore. It's on Apple Music. I watch it on Apple Music, so I don't got to see that. But Black Twitter is always fun to watch stuff like that with.
And we have to mention one more thing before we end it for the day.
What's up?
Carol Baskin did it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I had planned on going back to Netflix.
You can't end without talking about Tiger King.
Tiger King. Listen, I know it's been months. Yeah, I know it's been months, and it's not like the hot thing on Netflix anymore. But if you've never seen Tiger King, and you just want to laugh at something crazy, watch it. Watch it. That thing is ridiculous. But yeah, like we are well past time. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back and talk about some more some more stuff, some more specific stuff next week. Like Ariel was saying, we didn't get into the ugly of 2020, but really, all of 2020 was pretty ugly. It just sometimes it had a good personality.
Oh,
Every once in a while, you're like, you know what, you're not that bad.
oh.
But I did want to make sure I mentioned that the 15th, which is 2 weeks from now, yeah, 2 weeks will be our last episode of the year. We're going to take a couple of weeks off just for the end of the year and Christmas and things like that. But we'll come back in January, starting fresh on January 5th. And hopefully there will be some other things to announce along with that. Because if 2020 didn't do anything else, it got us back. It got us back on our stuff. We're here, you know what I'm saying, regular, creating and making things happen. And I'm excited to get back and like really, really create. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just make sure you like the page if you haven't done it. Share the video, share the page. Help us get to. We're still trying to get to 1,000 likes on Facebook at least. And that's all from me. If you guys want to say anything, any last thoughts or anything before we go, you're still on mute, Chris.
Every time. No, just be safe out there, y'all.
Welcome to 2020.
Yeah, yeah, because we might be shutting down one more time. Phoebe, thank you for rocking with us and talking with us. We really do appreciate it. We don't take anything lightly. We take all of our support. It's been crazy. But yeah. So that's it. Thank you, and we will see you guys next week.